welcome to OTRC. This time out, it's Pro Mod race number 2 for event number 2. This time out, we crown an event champion. I'm Chris Parrish, alongside marvelous Mike Bufka, our master of metal. This is going to be a knockdown dragout. We saw a lot of parity, really. Parity was the name of the story in the first bracket.
You know, we're starting to figure out which drivers are the most consistent. We're starting to see some regular pairings of, drivers who can place themselves really well in the bracket qualifying-wise, matching speeds, and we're seeing them getting paired up again. However, we have seen a few upsets today, and more than anything, we have seen some mad dashes to this final finish line jump. That's the interesting thing with these Pro Mod trucks. They get going really, really fast, but can they stick all that power to the ground? Sometimes we're finding they can't. We have, they impede other lanes or they miss the ramp altogether. It's great to have power, but if you can't stick that power to the ground, consistency might be what takes you to the finish line today.
Qualifying results as this time out with OTRC for event number 2, 1 qualifying pass instead of 2, but no matter to Laotian Commotion and Isaac Ankrum, as he is at the top of the charts by over a half a second over Indominus, driven by Chris Parrish, and then Ankrum back in 3rd spot with Red Rocket. So look for big things from Ankrum today. We'll see what he can do with that high qualifying position. But we had a 40 truck bracket, a huge field of Pro Mod trucks. So we're taking a look back at some of the round 1 highlights as we set up for the round of 32. We went through an entire round of action and still had 32 trucks remaining. Incredible action. Rolling right into round number 2. Laotian Commotion, the fast qualifier against number 33 Nightmare, driven by Nathan Smith. And it was a nightmare because the commotion was loud. Walking Tall, Chris Lane in the far lane, and underpowered Andy Salerno in the near lane. Sort of a paper clip shaped track as underpowered wins that round. Driver start in the middle, sweep to the outside, around the back stretch, then around the big sweeper to the final obstacle as American Nightmare and Zeus are doing just that with Zeus throwing a little lightning on the track. John Arnold and Brad Hazard, the owner of JB Scale Graphics and the owner of the Dreamfield Coliseum, coming on the scene and shaking things up with a victory. Excalibur, Fred Kors in the far lane, and Jeremy Mark in sudden impact. A long jump for Jeremy in the near lane. He's in trouble. Oh, big power. Wow, sudden impact at the finish line gets it done just for fun. We got to take a look back at that one. That was a dynamite finish. You see the power hit the ground as sudden impact wheelies towards the finish line. Shake Me, Levi Shones in the far lane, and Noise Pollution in the near lane. Neck and neck, 2 different styles. Shake Me gets to the finish line first. Boss Fight, Chris Parrish in the far lane, and Jurassic Attack, Mike Spurlock in the near lane. 2 new trucks for 2025. Both trucks making their own splash, and it's neck and neck into the final corner, and the Triceratops stuffs it into the tire barrier. Boss Fight moves to round 3. Boogie Van and Haktua in the near lane. I can't make this stuff up, ladies and gentlemen. Boogie Van off the lead, though. Boogie Van spitting on the competition. Indominus, Chris Parrish in the far lane against Careless Whisper, Mike Bufka. Indominus off to lead, a bad bounce into the final corner, and Careless capitalizes, whistling while he works. Taurus in the far lane against Hillbilly, a relative newcomer. Devin Treat in the far lane. He got off to a good jump, but in trouble now as the old pro Taurus gets to the finish line. Gravedigger Ice, Greg Coffey, and American Outlaw, Chris Lane. Outlaw off to the lead. Outlaw all the way. Atomic Orange, Chris Blank, and Purple Haze, Andy Salerno. A beautiful truck with ghost flames, a new design. He's got the light kit, and right now he's got some speed. He's putting the Atomic Orange on the trailer. This is number 3, Red Rocket, Isaac Ankrum. He was fast in qualifying against Mr. Holmes Power, Mike Bufka. Bufka only the number 35 qualifier. And Red, whoa, baby! Flying debris, but Red Rocket is the winner. Gravedigger 28 and Michigan Ice Monster, driven by Greg Coffey. Coffey with a big jump off the starting line and smooth sailing from there. Metal Health, Devin Treat, the number 38 qualifier against the number 5 qualifier. Josh Rose and the Gravedigger. Our final pair in round 2, Gunslinger against last time's winner, the number 22 Bolt Thrower. James with his first win in the last bracket, and wow, that was a very smooth run as well. He could be a contender. Round number 3, Laotian Commotion, the top qualifier, is back on the line, this time against Underpowered, the number 16 qualifier. The 16 falling through the bracket, but the number 1 with the advantage, and number 1, just like that, goes down to the 16 seed. Zeus and Rad Hazard, the 8-9 matchup. This should be a good battle on paper, but we don't race on paper, and that's why we don't race on paper. Rad Hazard all the way. Zeus hung up on a turn marker, and that ends his hopes. Levi Shones in the Shake Me against Sudden Impact. Jeremy Mark in the near lane. Quick start for Sudden, but a great turn for the Shake Me. Oh, he tried to save it. Sudden was in trouble, but Shake Me shook him in his boots. Boss Fight, Chris Parrish and Boogie Van, Fred Coors. Boss Fight off to the lead. Boogie Van charging, but hung up on some of the interior obstacles, and Boss Fight will get it done. Careless Whisper in the near lane, and Taurus in the far lane. Taurus off to the lead. Taurus, the 18 qualifier. Careless Whisper, the number 34 qualifier. Taurus with the win. As we move straight on to American Outlaw, Chris Lane, the number 7 qualifier, against number 23, Purple Haze. Qualifying really becomes very interesting when it's only one pass, because drivers are trying to decide whether to hang it all out there or lay back and make sure to get solidly into the field. Chris Lane looking good from that 7th position, as we've got Red Rock at number 3 on the line against number 14, Michigan Ice Monster. Red Rocket getting it done. Our final pair, number 6 Gravedigger and number 22 Bolt Thrower. Bolt Thrower in trouble. Oh, he's hung up on the lane divider, and Gravedigger has an easy path to victory. Rolling through the bracket. This is round number 4 of action. Shake Me against Boss Fight. Shake Me in trouble, and Boss Fight with the win. Taurus facing off against American Outlaw. American Outlaw looking strong this year, and in this bracket, can he take the measure of Taurus? He's off to a good start. Gets tight at the finish line, and American Outlaw moves to the semifinals. Red Rocket facing off against Gravedigger. Josh Rose, a 3-6 matchup. This should be a fun battle. Right now, neck and neck. Rose with a little bit of a lead and a win. Rad Hazard and Underpowered. This is the 9 and 16 matchup. Rad Hazard finally ran out of talent. John Arnold. It was great to have him back in the bracket. This time, this is where it stops. Semifinals, the round of 4. Boss fight in the far lane and underpowered in the near lane. It's the purple truck battle, and underpowered is not underpowered, but definitely out of shape as boss fight goes to fight in the finals. Josh Rhodes and the Gravedigger back on the scene. Joining the tour for the first time with OTRC this season against American Outlaw, and all kinds of trouble already for the Outlaw as Digger goes to the finals. Setting up a fun matchup between two veterans. Rhodes and Boss Fight ready to face off.
Well, these two are certainly no strangers to being in the final rounds of racing. We are going to feature our number 5 and number 6 top qualifiers facing off in the final round today. Two incredibly fast drivers, two incredibly fast trucks. Honestly, it's anybody's game. It's really all going to come down to strategy, and here to talk strategy are these two drivers. First, Josh, what is going to be your strategy out here in this final round of racing today?
I'm going to take this junk and dig him a grave. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to just try and stay as straight as I possibly can. It's a very tough track. You lose a lot of traction going down a straightaway if you're putting pedal to the ground. It's going to be a tough race. That Boss Fight truck, brand new truck, looks good. I'm going to do my best.
Well, Josh is going to do his best, but his best is only going to be good enough to, go against the best of Chris. Chris, what is going to be your best effort out here and your winning strategy potentially today?
I mean, this Boss Fight truck, it may not be the final boss every time out, but I want to make sure that Josh knows I'm there. And Rhodes is a superb driver. He is a multi-time champion, and he's always a tough matchup. And so I was standing here as we're talking about this, and I'm almost a little excited. I'm kind of giddy just racing because it's fun when we match up with Josh. It's gonna be a battle, and so we're gonna see what happens, and we're gonna lay down the best thing we can. We've been consistent most of the day, and if we can do that, I think we've got a shot.
You couldn't ask for a more even matchup. It's going to be anybody's race. It might come down to inches. It might come down to fractions of an inch. Either way, it's going to be tight, and I'm excited to see how this thing shakes out. Back to you in the booth, Chris.
Two old veterans on the line for the finals. The utmost of respect for each other. Rhodes versus Parrish. Gravedigger versus Boss Fight. This could be a slugfest. Gravedigger off to the lead. Boss Fight wide and great race, but Rhodes with the Gravedigger takes it home. Taking a look back, Rhodes with a little bit of a jump off the starting line. Parrish with a good corner, but Rhodes gets the power down on that Warpath chassis really well. A little bit wide for the Boss Fight, smooth sailing for Gravedigger. Two great runs, really.
Josh, you showed us an absolute mastercraft in driving. Despite being out for a lot of the season last year, it looks like you haven't lost a single step. It's great to have you back. How does it feel to be back in the winner's circle again?
Hey, it feels great to be back in the winner's circle. First things first, got to thank the sponsors, J Concepts, Team PRP, Horizon Hobby, Losi, all those guys out there that help me keep going. They do a great job in sending me some awesome parts to keep these things running and running right. Chris Parrish is one of the best guys to race against, and I was so excited to race against him just like he was against me. Glad it worked out in my favor this time because he's usually good at making that be bad. For me, anyway.
That was awesome. Fun race. That was a good time. I mean, we came up a little short this time. The boss doesn't always win. Sometimes you get the grave dug for you, and
sometimes the final boss gets the grave dug for him.
Either way, a masterful job. Congratulations to you, sir. Wonderful effort out there in the track today.
Well, if you joined us for the first race out in Pro Mod, we saw Josh Rhodes with a respectable performance, but then really upping the game in bracket number 2. He's going to take home the overall event victory for the day. As we take a look at the overall points, Boss Fight vaults into number 1 with 66 points, followed by Firestone Bigfoot, Red Rocket, and there you see Gravedigger Josh Rhodes crawling up the standings already. If he sticks around for the rest of the points season, particularly with the points drop, Rhodes will be right in the game. But it's going to be a hard-fought battle no matter what through this Pro Mod class. We hope you've enjoyed OffTrack RC. Hit subscribe, and thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next time.